Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about a possible hero, IRL hero, entering in to save us from late Dungeons and Dragons products that cost 50% more. Ugh. All right, so let me explain the problem, all right, and then I'll explain this. I'm going to explain the problem, I'm going to explain the root cause, and then I'm going to explain our possible solution, which may have just arrived. All right, here we go. So our problem is Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen. All right, now that is a bog standard, 256-page Dungeons and Dragons canon setting book. Okay, we've had these before. Eberron was just like it. Okay, Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide was just like it. Right, we've had these type of books before. Okay, now that book should cost $49.99 retail. It has for 8 years, right? I bought my PHB at a local at an FLGS for $49.99, right? And then the last book I bought in an FLGS at $49.99 was, I'm pretty sure it was Wild Beyond the Witchlight, right? And this is you've seen them a million times, the traditional D&D canon hardback, right? And under Perkinian Dungeons and Dragons, we get them every 3 months, right? And actually, we're starting to get them every 2 months. Like that, we get them 5 to 6 times a year. That's the frequency. It used to be 3 times a year, right? I think there was one year where there were only 2 books, right? So it should be $49.99, right? Well, President Joseph Biden came in 2020, in 2020, and in less than 2 years, he has increased the price of a Dungeons and Dragons book by 50%. When I purchased Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen, it cost $77. I had to take $77 out to get Wizards of the Coast to send me that physical book out of my bank account, right? That is over and a 50% increase in 2 years. That is outrageously unsustainable, and it threatens the very idea of Dungeons and Dragons being open and available to everybody. And it says, hey, it's only going to be available to wealthy. That is repugnant and disgusting, right? That is a repugnant, disgusting outcome that has come from a coward president. And I used to kind of equivocate about this. President Joseph Biden's cowardice is costing us deeply, and the cost is higher priced Dungeons and Dragons books. Why is it his responsibility? Well, in one country, Russia, there is a murderous savage who is posing as a president. Every month, he murders Ukrainian civilians and buries them in mass graves. Like that is a savage murderer. That's exactly what Vladimir Putin is, right? He's just a savage murderer at this point. And so once you have a savage murderer, like saying they're president of a country, you need a hero to show up, right? Well, President Joseph Biden is commander-in-chief. He has Goose and Maverick. He can get them off the couch and end the war in Europe, right? In literally a weekend. Like, it would be a hobby action to end the Ukrainian war, right? We're pretty much like, it would be a weekend's work, right? But because President Joseph Biden is a coward, right? You and I have to pay $77 for a Dungeons and Dragons book, okay? Now that might have just ended. Why did that end? Prime Minister Liz Truss. This world needs a hero. This world needs a leader with courage to say, I see you, murdering savage, and I will check you. I'm here. This gets done now. We're never going to have that under President Joseph Biden because he's a coward. He's not going to use the army he has. He's told us that 100 times, and he displays cowardice every single day. Right? And we need him to be a hero, right? Like, we need this to end, right? I don't want to pay $77 for a D&D book, right? Because the grain that was needed to feed the laborers who make materials for ink and design and paper, right, are starving because there's grain locked up in the Ukrainian ports because of a murdering savage, right? Like, this cannot stand. And we need somebody who's willing to stand up to Vladimir Putin and say, This ends today, right? And that person may have just arrived. It's Prime Minister Liz Truss, all right? Liz Truss, okay? First name Liz, last name Truss. All right, so how do we know that we may be looking at a hero? Well, it's her words, right? She'll have to back it up with action, but I think we're reaching a point where we may see that action. So she was in an interview from a British journalist, and the British journalist said, so you're the new prime minister. They're going to bring you into the room, and they're going to give you the codes, right, so that you can launch nuclear weapons. How is that going to make you feel? And you know what she said? Hero time. Here's what she said. I am ready. And he goes, no. I understand you're ready. How would it make you feel? You know what she said? She said, just gave a beat, and then she said, I am ready. Like, she's like, it don't matter how I feel. I'm going to pull the trigger. It's going to get done. Right? Like, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is a $49.99 Dungeons & Dragons book if I ever saw one. If we're ever going to get there, we need a hero. We need someone who has a backbone. We need courage. We need someone who's going to get whoever the equivalent of whoever the British Goose and Maverick are, get their butts off the couch and get this done in a weekend and be willing to use every tool we got all the way up to NWs. We're going to need a hero. That hero doesn't exist in the United States of America in any power position. We only have power. We only have a coward at the helm right now, right? So this isn't going to end, right? And Ukrainian civilians are going to continue to be murdered by a savage and put into mass graves, right? But hey, looks like Britain might have a real leader, right? Somebody who got actually a spine made out of diamond, right? Like, who's willing to say, yeah, I got what's needed to end this, and I'm ready to use it. Liz Truss, thank you for creating a world where there's a possibility I could pay $49.99 for a Dungeons & Dragons book again, because the global supply chain has even a hope of being restored, because there's a single leader in this world who's not a coward to use the tools that are necessary. Liz Truss, I'm waiting for you to turn the words into reality. Let's get this done. Let's get back to a $49.99 Dungeons & Dragons book, not a $77, 50% increase in 1 year, and all $27 of the surplus is caused by nothing more than cowardice, a completely unnecessary charge that should not be there, right? Liz Truss, deliver, please, for every person in the D&D community. All that's my humble opinion. I'd love to hear yours. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.